Hey guys, another knife review here, and this is a fixed blade review. Haven't done one in a while, and I got my hands on this knife, and this is a really high value. I love this knife. This is the K-Bar Large Heavy Bowie, and for the price point this comes in, very, very good knife. So I'll take the sheath out of the equation here and set that off to the side. We'll get to that later, but here is the knife, and as you can tell, it's large. That's a 9 inches of blade. This knife is made out of 1085 steel, so it's a little bit softer steel than 1095 steel. And if you don't know, it's a high carbon steel. High carbon steels are very good for wilderness type knives like this because they have very good shock resistance for chopping and batoning. They are very tough steels. They're easily sharpened, and they hold an edge very well. However, their kind of one Achilles heel is that they will rust. So, if you're going into a very high moisture climate, maybe you want to look at maybe a more stainless steel than this. Maybe along the lines more of like a Falkneven or something. Maybe like the Falkneven A2. However, that knife is much more expensive than this knife. So, the blade on here is 1085 steel. It is full flat ground, which for wilderness blades like this, I love. In my folders, I generally prefer hollow grinding, but, a full-size knife like this, really, really good. Acts like a wedge when you're batoning through wood. Chops very well. It is almost a 1/4 inch thick, just underneath. So a very thick blade, very strong, and it'll split wood again very well. And also you have that blade length to really be able to baton through larger pieces of wood. So really excellent blade overall with this. It has that sharper tip on here, but also very strong reinforced. Same excellent Bowie style that's been around forever. Adequate belly for chopping and things like that. And one thing I've noticed on here is that this bevel or not bevel, but the edge on here out of the box, that's pretty high, that relief edge, and I'm very happy with that. You see a lot of knives that come back reprofiled with this type of edge because they don't start. I'm talking about that silver part that you maybe see. They just don't start that high enough up on this blade, and it doesn't allow it to become really sharp. And this one's pretty high, and let me tell you, this knife is very, very sharp. And that's totally out of the box edge, so very happy with that. You don't see that on lots of knives twice this knife's price. Getting into the weight of this knife, it weighs 1.3 pounds. So that's a bit of a heavier knife, so you'll have to see if you're backpacking with this knife or something else, if you can take that weight, because it's a lot of weight. However, if you can, you're going to get a lot of performance out of it. The construction of this knife is a Crichton G handle, which other knives like maybe the Cold Steel Recon Scout, that's also Crichton, but it's a stickier Crichton. It's more of a it's just stickier. It'll stick to clothing stuff. It'll stick to your hand more. This one's much slicker than that. However, I wouldn't describe it as slick. It still has some traction to it, but it's just tougher. Feels like it'll last longer. It won't wear out as easily. Feels more like car tires than anything else to me. Very, very tough. Very strong. And I really like this part here where they have that kind of hook shape almost. So you can really choke back there comfortably and safely and get a lot of chopping power out of this. A lot of leverage and a lot of weight coming down. You do have a lanyard hole there. Maybe a little small, but not really. I don't use lanyards all the time, and I think with this handle shape, it minimizes the need for a lanyard. But you can definitely put one on there if you want to. It'll definitely take paracord or 550 paracord if you want to put that through there. Okay, so the ergonomics are excellent on here. I have smaller hands, but if you had larger hands, it'd be comfortable too. And one thing I want to say is that, see this top here, it's totally flat top. There's no guard or anything. and that means that, if you're batoning with this knife and you're, batoning through a log and you're hitting it here and the back goes up and you want to hit it down, you can hit it back here. And one thing I found with the K-Bar USMZ knife, I think I said this in the review, is that this back guard right here, I found myself hitting that and bending this guard up. So for a dedicated woods knife, which I really consider this to be, you could use it as a tactical blade. It'd be wicked in that role. I mean, if you could take the weight and the size and everything. But I really consider this to be designed and sold and marketed it and really best suited for the woods. So that's a very good feature for wood type stuff. This knife is made in Taiwan, so if you have problems with that and you only want U.S. made blades, that's fine. I totally support you in that decision. However, personally, I don't do that. I just want a good quality blade and for a good price, and just happens to be made in Taiwan in this case. Okay, the sheath that this knife comes with is okay. It'll serve the function. It's a larger sheath here. It is a Cordura material here with leather here. It is a good quality leather. It's riveted and stitched together. Then the back here, there's kind of a ring, and there's two straps. They will rotate, so not amazing on the sheath here, but this is a $50 knife, getting the price. It will go on your belt. However, that's just you're just going to thread it through there. It's not quick attach or anything. That's a larger loop, so it will kind of migrate on your belt a little. One thing you could do if you wanted to is you could maybe take like some thick carpet thread or something and maybe just kind of stitch it to the height of your belt to kind of help maybe minimize that migration a little. So it has a leg tie down here. Now this is like a polymer material that this is made out of, so it's not going to be super strong, but adequate. So a decent sheath that'll do the job. It's not going to be a really awesome sheath like maybe this Cold Steel Recon Scout comes with, where it's friction fit, quick attach on the back here, all that jazz, molded plastic. However, you got to remember the price point that they're bringing this knife into. It's very affordable, and really I think it's kind of marketed as a workhorse knife. It's not going to be a super collectible knife. It's not going to be something that you just show off to everyone because it's so cool and so high end. It's something that's marketed to be a workhorse. You take this thing out and you thrash on this and you use it like a tool, like any other tool. Okay, so getting a price, as I mentioned, it's around $50 to $55, which for what you're getting here, I think is very reasonable, very high value. The competition in this price range is maybe something like the Ontario, like SP series, like maybe the SP10, some of that other stuff. But really, I don't think you can go wrong with this knife. So there it is, guys. I wanted to show you this knife. Really excellent knife. I'm very impressed with it, especially for the price. So I'll give you a quick comparison in size to some other knives. There it is. Here is the excellent Cold Steel Recon Scout. And this is like a 7.5-inch blade. Here is the USMC Marine Combat Knife. Let's see, what else do I got here? Here is the ESE E6. It dwarfs that ESE E6. I mean, this is a big
Sorry
knife.
guys, battery died.
Okay, here's another knife. This is the I don't think I reviewed on this yet. This is the Knives of Alaska Alpha Wolf. And that's a great little belt knife, camp knife, but as you can see there, this Alpha Wolf, like, fits on the blade. So, there you go, guys. This is a very large knife. I think if you got any larger than this, it'd be considered a sword. So, see you guys. Can't say enough about this knife. Really love it. So, see you guys.